Right, Season 3 is almost here, and you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. We need a goddamn master plan. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. And what the hell are your plans for Season 3 competitive for Overwatch? Now, you're probably thinking, Sty, what are you talking about? I don't even play competitive. Well, if you don't, just give it a go. At least give it a try, because you've just got to ignore your rank. Just ignore it. Like I keep going on about this. A wise man once said, your rank does not matter, and it really doesn't, right? It doesn't matter. Just don't get fixated on what that is, because even if you're a master player, a grandmaster player, a top 500 player, a gold player, a bronze player, it doesn't matter, right? If you look at your rank, you'll get obsessed with it, and you'll be like, I'd really like to play Overwatch right now, but I might lose, and therefore I might lose skill rating, so I'm not going to play Overwatch. Excuse me. If that is the mindset you've got, no, you need to get rid of that, and I need to get rid of this. This is like a little bit of a confession off me, and I've said this in previous videos, but I've put too much pressure on myself in the past. One of my latest videos covers the thing with placement games. Don't get too caught up on your placement games. Don't think, oh god, I've got to play the best ever. Whatever. Oh no, I've been placed in low platinum. The game's dead to me. I was a diamond player before. What is this? And then you don't play again. You've just got to ignore placement rank, but you've got to ignore your rank anyway. You've got to go in and have fun. So let's take you back to my Season 2. At the start of Season 2, I was like, alright, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play McCree. I like McCree, and that's probably who I'm going to play. I'll play Lucio as well, and that'll be great. So what happened during Season 2? Well, I didn't really play that much McCree. I did during my placement games, and I did for my first maybe 10 or 15 games. And with the guys I was playing with, I started to become really frustrated because I'd noticed the tank players making stupid mistakes. The Reinhardt player would be charging in like a crazy man, or he would be dropping his barrier, spamming fire strikes into Zarya's barriers, or just doing like crazy stuff and wasting his earth shatter. And I was like, oh, this is making me angry. So I was like, look guys, I'm going to play the tank. So let's go for it. And then we went on a big winning streak, which was probably what convinced me to carry on playing the tank characters. And then I started playing more Zarya. And then we kind of fast forward to the Ana meta, where Ana's nano boost was sort of figured out. And because I was playing Reinhardt, we were throwing the nano boost onto me, because the guy who was the Ana player is a really good support player, and would nano boost me, and I would run in and kill all of the team. And it was like, yes, this is awesome. And so we kept doing that. But what this meant is I was starting to build up a massive time bank on the tank characters, especially Reinhardt, who for I think the beginning of Season 2 was like, I think I shot up to like 20. He was my first character with 24 hours played in Season 2 by a mile. And then I started to play more Zarya. What happened was I could have carried on playing Reinhardt. And really, if I was that obsessed with my rank, I probably should have done. Because we were very strong using the Ana Nano boost. And I think my Reinhardt play was okay at that point. It needed to get better. It always needs to get better, but it was okay. But I think I just wanted to play somebody different. So I started playing a bit more Zarya, who I've always liked Zarya. And, I had fun playing Zarya. And when I look at my end of Season 2 statistics, Reinhardt is my most played character with 50 hours plus. But Zarya is almost there with pretty much the same kind of hours as Reinhardt, which is awesome. And then we've got like Lucio and Ana, which is very interesting to me because originally I started out to play DPS, but I just ended up playing tank characters. Now, the problem was, at that point when I was playing Reinhardt and Zarya, I was playing them at like 3,500 plus. There's no way I could play McCree at that level with no training, because even if you think you're great at the game, you have to play. You have to have experience. People like McCree depend on positioning. It's the same with Soldier 76, but during Season 2, Soldier 76 was pretty much non-existent until like the last week of Season 2, but we'll get onto that in a second. But McCree depends on a lot of stuff. A lot of just like, it's not so much game knowledge, it's just experience, like, which I guess you could say is game knowledge, but it's just knowing where to stand at the right time. And then work on your accuracy. Well, there's a lot of McCree players out there who already know how to do that at 3.5k plus, but they might be a McCree player and not a tank player. And if I'm the tank player and I lock in as a McCree and then they need to play the tank, then it's going to cost the game. So you kind of do get shoehorned into those roles like all of the time, which is not a bad thing. Like, I really enjoy playing Reinhardt and Zarya and all of those guys, and Lucio and Ana. They're great characters to play, but it would be nice to play other characters as well, because you know what I'm like. I don't like to think of myself as a main, because like I'm a main Reinhardt or I'm a main soldier or whatever. I never like that, because the core of Overwatch, and this is what attracted me to the game in the first place, is you can swap your hero like during the match. So that means you can be flexible. So if you are a pro Genji and that's all you do is play Genji, but then McCree is killing you every single time we go into an engagement, maybe you should play somebody else, because you're dying every time. Problem is, those players are like, no, I'm going to kill this McCree, let's go. And then they die again, and it's like, oh god. they should swap to somebody else, and then maybe that would help the team. Maybe they should play McCree themselves or whatever. Maybe that would help through being flexible. And that was always the way I've approached Overwatch. I want to be flexible. Now we're going into Season 3, and I look back at what I wanted to do in Season 2. I missed all of my goals, which is crazy. Like, I wanted to get into top 500. I didn't do it. I was really angry about not doing this. And this was like a thing which kind of made me, like, I had to sit back and go, you need to calm down, Sty, because I was getting really worked up over this. I think when I worked it out, I was 85 points or so off top 500, which would have been like maybe 4 wins, and I would have been top 500. I got there, and then I started to lose games, and it was making me really frustrated. Then I was going back into the next game, like, wanting to win, and like wanting to win too much that it was impacting on my performance. This happens a lot with professional sports players as well. You put too much pressure on yourself and you don't perform. It's not performance anxiety as such, it's just you go into the game and you really want to win that you lose. It's weird. You've got to be relaxed. When you relax, things work better. When you play in a more chilled out fashion, when you're just in tune with the character you're playing, when you're doing what you need to do, you will win the game. And that's all competitive's about in Overwatch. I mean, again, that's the other reason why I was so attracted to the game. It is very much like soccer. I like soccer. I used to play soccer, or football as I call it, but I'll call it soccer just for this video. That's fine. I love it, right? It's a team game where a better team can beat a worse team if that other team's not playing as well. You know, and that happens exactly the same in Overwatch. It's just awesome. So yeah, my Season 2 goals, I didn't hit them. I didn't play DPS characters that I wanted to play, and I didn't get top 500. So what do I want to do for Season 3? I want to play DPS characters, and I want to get top 500. It's really funny, isn't it? It's like the same thing. But hang on a minute. It is working into my favour. Because through, like, you'll notice that I've ignored Season 1 as well. Honestly, I don't have much memory of Season 1. I think I got to like 71 in Season 1. Didn't play it as much as I played Season 2, though, to be fair. I literally played Season 2 3 times as much, I think, as Season 1. I think one of the issues with Season 1 is the rank system was not great at the time. It was enjoyable to play still, but the way it attributed rating and stuff was great. Well, was not great. It was pretty bad. Like, I remember after we did the placement games, it placed me at like 54 or something like that. Yeah, other people in the team were placed at like 59, 60, and we were like, what is going on? And one of the guys who was placed at 59 compared my stats to his, and in every single statistic, like time on fire and all of that, I was higher, but we couldn't work out what happened. Anyway, so this is why I'm not including Season 1, because it was a bit of a clusterfuck Season 1. Season 2, though, away goes coin flip, so no longer do we have to deal with that terribleness, which was such a bad idea in the first place. I think the only reason that came around was because they didn't want to have draws in the game, because I think in American sports, having a draw is a bad thing. Like, somebody needs to win. I don't know. Like I said, I watch soccer or football in the UK, so you get draws all the time, and maybe they are quite boring. So we go into Season 2. The rule set's better. Everything is better. The placement rank, though, was still a bit iffy. Like, people were still getting placed in the wrong places, and maybe it was giving certain rank advantages to some people in the game and stuff like that, which maybe isn't fair, and blah 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 blah. But all of this should be sorted out for Season 3. So what this means is, when I walk into Season 3, I hope you're still with me as well, guys, because this is literally the most, like, I'm trying to tell you everything about my Season 3 goals and how I've got it. When I walk, and I hope you guys have got the same story to tell in the comments below. When I get to Season 3 and the gates open, it is, right, I know how to play Reinhardt at a master level, and a high master level as well. I know how to play Zarya in the same level. I can play Lucio. I can play Anna. Now, I'm going to play Soldier 76, because he is my absolute, like, he's my bae, man. He's the character that I, like, when I first got Overwatch and the closed beta, that is the character that I played. Like, 76, he was beautiful. He was beautiful. Everybody loved 76. Then he got nerfed and blah, blah, blah. Season 2, he was non-existent because he was just McCree. It was all about McCree. Towards the end of Season 2, though, we got buffed, remember? And that made him not overly powerful, I don't think, but it means he can put out a lot of reliable damage now. So he still plays the same way he did before. So, like, I just went straight back to playing him. It was like getting back on a bike again. Like, you know, you don't forget how to ride a bike. It was like, oh, right, I'm back on 76 again. Yeah, I need to get better, but I felt quite confident with him. It was like, wow, this is awesome. So I want to play him. And the way the game is going right now with the meta in Season 3, it looks to be one of the best metas going because it is so dynamic. There's so many different kinds of team builds you can put together, so many ways to counter stuff. Like, no longer is it just get a Reinhardt and walk forward, because you could get a D.Va and a soldier and just annihilate the Reinhardt, or even just a soldier and annihilate Reinhardt's barrier. It's like there are sort of hard counters to Reinhardt now where maybe before there wasn't, and all of the other classes that are coming in, like Symmetra's rework and all of that stuff. So that's great. And even D.Va herself, she is in a really good position right now. She's really tanky, and she's got a nice little niche, I think, in the game. So it's awesome, like the way the meta has changed and the way it's going to be very dynamic. So we're going to go into this meta with a lot of heroes being viable, and it means that I can play Soldier 76. But what it also means is he'll be sort of usable in a lot of different team builds, but not in every team build. Because if they've got a Tracer and a Genji, Soldier 76 against that would be okay. You might be able to do something against it. You land a Helix Rocket and a couple of hits on Tracer, you'll kill her. If she's got a Discord Orb and you Helix Rocket her, she's dead. Or it's the same kind of thing for Genji, but obviously Genji could deflect. McCree would be better in that situation. You see, McCree is the best, like, short-range duel character. He flashbangs you, you're dead. You're just dead, you know what I mean? Unless you're Reinhardt or Roadhog, in which case he probably wouldn't be running up to you and flashbanging you in a 1v1 sort of duel situation. Like, that would be in a team fight. So I'm going to try and play McCree as well. McCree's an interesting one because I view McCree as this foundation hero. McCree is the hero which teaches you how to aim in Overwatch because he's the most simplistic out of all of the hit scan heroes. Now, hit scan, in case you don't know, just means when you target the enemy and fire, you hit them instantly, right? There's no travel time, there's no projectile. That's what McCree's about. He trains you to land the headshots, and then you can transfer that onto Soldier 76. And the reason why I would say train with McCree for 76, you might think, well, if you want to play 76, just play 76. It's because 76 is a little bit less forgiving. Like, you can spray at people with 76. You might miss some, you might hit some. And it's kind of okay. You can be kind of less accurate. With McCree, you have to be accurate as you miss. So being better with McCree makes you a better 76. But this is the super interesting thing. There is a third character I want to play.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
The greatest impression ever of Tracer. And it is, of course, Tracer. Now, I played Tracer, again, early closed beta, and I think I was pretty okay with her. I probably was absolutely terrible now if I went back and looked, but my memory kind of says to me, yeah, you were okay with that slide. So I want to bring that into the game, because that means that I cover 3 DPS characters there. So if I'm Soldier, if I'm McCree, if I'm Tracer, it means I can swap to those. And even Reaper. Like, Reaper's an interesting one. This might annoy people who are Reaper mains, but again, like, I don't like the idea of a main. Just, try and swap sometimes if your team need it. But Reaper is kind of easy to play in a way, because you're short point blank range, basically firing at the tanks. You're anti-tank, you fire at the biggest targets, you've got massive spread, you just walk up to them and kill them. He's all about positioning. He's not about trying to land super accurate shots. Yeah, you've still got to be accurate, but he's a little bit easy to play. So I wouldn't necessarily train on McCree, but if we come up against like a triple tank enemy team, then I'd be like, all right, I'm going to drop the McCree or the Soldier or whatever and play the Reaper if we've got, like, maybe a Pharah or a Genji or whatever fill in the other DPS slots. So that'll be interesting. What that means is I can play tanks because of my Season 2 experience. So Reinhardt and Zarya. I can play Lucio. I can play Anna. I can play, hopefully, well, I know I can play 76, but I will really practice 76 this season. McCree and Tracer. There are 6, if I can count. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 7 heroes there that I can play and hopefully play well. Now, there will be times where I need to play heroes that I maybe don't want to play, and sometimes you have to do that, because Overwatch isn't about just going, I want to play Genji, but everybody else is playing DPS as well. You might need a support in that case. You might need a tank, so you've got to be flexible. Guys, I want you to let me know what your plan is for Season 3. I wholeheartedly recommend you at least do your placement games. I know there's a lot of players out there that are not competitive, and if you're still watching this video right now, you have interest in being competitive. Don't go into it being competitive, which sounds like an oxymoron, right? But go into it and just have fun, but remember that everybody is there to win. And sometimes that means you might need to play Lucio if there's no other supports. You might need to play the secondary support even if you want to play Genji. You might need to play a tank, because that will help your team win the game. And sometimes you've got to make those sacrifices. If you can do that, you'll become a much better player and a better person as well. Just straight up a better person and a nicer person to deal with. I am going to avoid, well, I guess these are like my don'ts. Maybe not so much my don'ts, but the things I want to, well, I guess, yeah. The things I want to avoid doing in Season 2. I'm not going to get salty. Now, I do get salty, but it is to myself. Like, I never really do this over the microphone. I'd never say it to the team. Like, if I seen something happen, I wouldn't be like, open the microphone and go, oh my fucking god, that was so bad. I would never do that. But I would sit there in my chair and go, oh, for fuck's sake. You know, I might slam the desk or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, that's making me worse. So when we go into the next team fight, I actually play worse, and I really want to avoid that. So I'm going to try and do that. And also, the big thing is, I'm going to stream. Twitch.tv/unit lost is where I'm going to play all of my competitive games. The placement games, as soon as they're available, will be streamed, or as soon as placement is available, I will stream. There will be an announcement video on the channel. I'll tweet out, and we go live. The stream is back, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait for this. I used to stream a hell of a lot before Overwatch took off, but I'm going to get back into this because I play loads of Overwatch anyway. Like, I was getting to the point where I was playing 3 or 4 hours of Overwatch every single day, so I may as well stream this, and I'm playing it with the guys that I play with, and it would be great if you guys could come in and watch all of the live games, because I only use some of the footage from all of the games that I play to make videos on the channel. Whereas, like, now, obviously, you can see everything, and it'll be awesome. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I want you to let me know what your plans are for Season 3. Like I said, if you don't play competitive, at least give it a shot. Let me know if you've got some sort of more interesting plans. Like, maybe you were a support main and now you really want to try DPS, or maybe you're going to start playing together in a triple stack or a 4-man stack instead of like solo queue, or maybe you're going to solo queue. Let me know what you think about that and what you're going to do. Alright guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I will catch you on the next one. And please have fun when you play Overwatch competitive, guys. Toodaloo.